Hello, everyone. My name is Dion Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and we're coming to you live from round 4 of the Space Jam tournament. This is the Sydney edition, and my co-host for this round is
Paul Olsen, coming to you live. Excited to cover some droids v Imperials.
Roger. You know something about these droids, huh?
I do, and this particular list I am very partial to, as it was the list I ran at LVO. I am super excited to see how Leonardo flies it, specifically differently than maybe I did.
That should be good. So let's go ahead and before we break down the lists, let's remind you that this game and all of our games this weekend are brought to you by Space Jam. Sorry, I said that wrong. Brought to you by Curl Paw Creatives. Use coupon code SpaceJam2020. You can see the awesome tokens that we're actually using here on TTS are those Curl Paw Creative designs. While they're not for public use on TTS at the moment, you can order your own and be ready to play in style when we return back to the tables live and in person. Looking forward to bringing you guys those Chad tokens, if you guys remember those from from before the dark times. But Paul, let's go ahead and break down these lists.
Oh, super excited for this matchup. So in one corner, we've got Leonardo Arthur, who is running a Seer Swarm. This is what I go to as far as my main competitive extended list. It's Captain Seer with TA-175 and Solus 1 at exactly 60 points, and then 7 Trade Federation drones with grappling sets that breaks down to 20 points apiece. Of course, Captain Seer gives that crack shot-like ability for every single friendly. If you spend a calculate instead of the crack shot charge, for example, is basically how it breaks down. So during the neutralize result step, friendly ship can spend a calculate to cancel an evade result, anyone from 0 to 3. And then you've got that TA-175 Separatist Solitary Carrier. After a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 with a calculate on its action bar is destroyed, which means damage cards equal the hull value. Now, thank you, FFG, for that timing window change. Each friendly ship at range 0 to 3 with calculate in its action bar gains a calculate token. So you got calculates for days, and I know Dion likes to call them the piñata.
That's right.
Because when it pops, everybody gets calculates. It's exciting. On the other side, we've got Pedro Zegarra, who is running Colonel Jendon with Director Krennic. So that's giving him that target lock action, which pairs very nicely with his ability, allowing you to spend a charge to be able to gain target locks outside of range 3 for a particular round. He can do that twice per game. And then he's running 3 Inquisitors. We've seen variations of a Jendon and 3 Inquisitors list. Or Jendon, 2 Inquisitors, and Soontir, for example. This particular version has the Grand Inquisitor just naked. It's a great pocket ace. 7th Sister with fire control system with that built-in crack shot-like ability by spending 2 force to get that crack shot off. And then 5th Brother with fire control system and homing missiles. And his ability pairs super nicely with homing missiles. Homing missiles, you spend a charge. After you declare the defender may choose to suffer a damage or decide, sure, I'll roll 4 attack dice and see what happens. So typically you take the 1 damage, no big deal. However, 5th Brother's ability says when you perform an attack after the neutralized result steps, if the attack hits, you can spend 2 force to add a crit result. So if you say, sure, I'll take that hit, 5th Brother can say, okay, I'll spend 2 force and now add that crit result to you, which is especially dangerous to droids who do not have shields. Taking that crit, if a homing missile goes off, could immediately kill them with a direct hit. So dangerous for the droids for sure. That being said, I like the droids in this matchup. Inquisitors don't have 2 repositions, which means they're easier to block and easier to pin down for that bullseye crack shotting them. And when Inquisitors, as tanky as they are, get focus fired by an entire swarm, it can feel bad.
For sure. Yeah, I think if we're looking for a double reposition potential, you're looking at Jendon maybe doing some coordinate shenanigans to try to get one of these Inquisitors out of danger. Now, before we go too far, Johnny, we need to make a quick change. This is simply a thematic change to the name on the right side. So Pedro Pzegarra is the founder, the originator of the statement, "I choose violence." That's my boy out of Peru. So we need to change that to Pedro, "I choose violence, Zegarra," is what I need up there. All right, Johnny, so when you have a second, please All right, so he was my co-commentator when we were at Buenos Aires, and it was awesome.
I remember tuning into that and being super impressed with him then. So, man, awesome. I get to watch him play.
Yeah.
So one thing that you note already is that Jendon spent a charge.
Yep.
So that locks were already able to be acquired. Looks like Jendon and Seventh Sister took target locks on Captain Seer, while the fifth brother took a target lock on the Red Trade Federation drone, and the Grand Inquisitor took a target lock on the yellow. Interesting to see him split up the locks. I'm not super surprised to see 2 on Seer. I'd expected 2 to go on the same drone, but maybe he didn't want to tip his hand as far as which droid he was going after first. And to be fair, that homing missile could just one-shot a Trade Federation drone.
Facts.
I like a lot that Pedro is splitting up his ships to make Leonardo choose a side. That's what you have to do if you want to be effective against the swarm. If you try to joust it, it's going to be a bad time. And also, and I've seen this strategy implemented, Zach did it against me in the finals, where Jendon isn't so much just going to say, yeah, we'll just go into the fray, because you can get 2-rounded pretty easily, but rather say, I'm going to keep it on the outside as support, and then when it's time, when a couple of droids have died and I'm less likely to get 2-rounded, I'll bring it in for a couple extra rounds of extra punch. So we'll see if Pedro takes that approach.
Yeah, looking at this matchup, this list, this is eerily similar to that matchup final at Las Vegas between you and Zach Bart.
Not gonna lie, I've got some PTSD from this. I fully expect this to go to final salvo, with Pedro rolling 5, Leo rolling 7, and Pedro winning. History has a tendency to repeat itself, right? So
it does. Sure. It does. So if you haven't put in your bets yet, the betting is open for a couple more minutes. Looks like we have actually 1 minute 30 seconds left, and we've had some pretty big bets out there. I think the last game we had 180 points were bet. So go ahead, get your bets in there now. I will tell you, I'm working on a pretty big. It'll be an expensive animation, but it's pretty awesome. It may or may not involve the Death Star.
Nice.
Something extra special. Yeah, should be cool. Working on it, because we gotta get you guys some stuff to actually spend those. Don't forget, you can spend them. Type !redeem, and then we have a list of different animations available. You can check the list of animations by typing !loyalty, and you guys know all the cool stuff you guys can make pop up on the screen. And I have no control of it. You guys just go ham.
It's pretty cool.
Get your Star Wars
So
on.
already we're seeing Leonardo utilize the grappling struts that these droids have equipped. So those that are maybe newer to the game or not super familiar how grappling struts work, you have 2 different positions, open and closed. If they are open, you can ignore obstacles at range 0. I guess they start closed, is maybe a better way to say that. And if you end a maneuver over that obstacle, you can flip it to the grappling struts open side, which allows you to ignore that obstacle and take actions while on it as well. So you saw the orange droid move onto that rock. Normally you'd have to roll damage, but because it has struts, it ignores that. And then took a barrel roll linked to a calculate action. Just super action efficient droids, and with that network calculations ability, they're able to share calculate tokens with each other. Not only one focus result with each other, but in essence gives everyone in a mini swarm this kind of force-like ability, and it can be really tough, deceptively tough, to get through what looks like a ship with, well, it's only got 2 agility and 3 hull. It shouldn't be that hard, right? But with all of those mods, it can be really hard to take them down.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how, man, Leonardo feels like he's biting pretty hard at Seventh Sister.
Yeah, and what he's doing is not committing to a corner. I mean, with the droid's dial, they've got a 2 hard that's blue. So even if you're stressed and pointing one direction, you can easily change targets very easily. Doing a 2 bank is about the same from like a positioning standpoint as doing a 2 hard and then barrel rolling away. So I mean, you just have so many different routes and vectors that you can choose, and it allows you to change targets very quickly. So what he's doing, it looks like, is just kind of hanging out in his corner. It's not a necessarily full-on castle, but he's saying, all right, I want to know a little more information from Pedro as far as where he's coming, where he's going to attack from. Is Seventh Sister going to get too off on her own? See kind of what he's doing. So we'll see what Pedro commits to. But Leonardo is really not committing by doing the too hard kind of barrel roll. Like, he really hasn't left this corner at all.
The Separatist line holding it down.
Yep.
Roger.
And a lot of barrel rolls linked to calculates. That linked action is just so good. Cannot understate that enough. Seer looks like is a little boxed in. One hard's not going to fit, but the bump's not terrible at this point. All right, so maybe he wasn't planning on bumping there. You want to keep Seer fairly close to the swarm so that you're able to access that Pinata ability, that TA-175, gaining that calculate for everyone. And he's also, it looks like, choosing the option that if the shuttle does decide to turn in, he could easily go after that. The shuttle does become harder to kill with less ships, as that reinforce can keep it alive longer than you'd like it to.
A couple people asking about our rounds. So we'll have the top 16 tomorrow or later, depending on where you are. Yeah, we have 6 rounds, and then we will be back in a few hours after that for our top 16. The top 16 starts at 7 p.m. Central on Saturday. For Central Time if you're in Chicago. Australia, it starts at, or Sydney, Australia starts at 10 a.m. Sunday, because they're in the future time. Looks like the people are having some fun with their animations, just kind of playing with them a little bit.
Love it.
I have a bunch more just kind of planned. We are going to do another marble race to give away the rights to choose the next animation, a one-ship animation. Like, what pilot do you want to see?
Huh.
Because as we
That's cool.
as we make more of them, they'll basically be different tiers.
Yep. More expensive, less expensive. I like that. So, interesting round here. Both players kind of playing cagey, not committing to too much. Yeah, I mean, Pedro's really got to be careful because this entire swarm can just one-shot or one-round ship pretty easily if you get a lot of guns on target, especially if you get those bullseyes lined up. I'd expect Seventh Sister to do a one bank in to be able to barrel roll out or boost, depending on what Leo does. I will say, with the, at least in my experience, with the Separatist swarm, the biggest thing is going slow, fast, jumping at one opportunity and saying, all right, this is the turn that I'm going to commit all of my guys, all of my ships to one particular area to try to keep your opponent off guard. If you play too cagey too long, that's where your opponent can take advantage of you because you're never committing to anything. And while that it can be a risk, at the same time, once you have a pretty good idea of what your opponent's going to do, that's the time to strike. I don't know if this is necessarily the round to do that for Leonardo. He might take one more round to kind of see what Pedro does. Yeah, this rock that's like on the corner of red could be problematic because you're only able to have 2 droids on an asteroid at once with those grappling struts.
Yeah, it's very true. And then also, so Paul, you've run them more than I have. So if you just fly through a rock, the struts don't go off, right?
No, they don't. Then you'd have to roll for the damage. You got to land on it.
Yeah.
So that is giving your opponent some information. Now you could fly to it and then barrel roll off of it, allowing another ship to go onto it. And then your struts basically you're going to be able to move the next turn. Yeah, struts are too cheap at one point. Let's just be honest. They're so good. They're so good. Yeah, anyway, I like, though, what Pedro's done here. He's kept a lane open for the Grand Inquisitor to be able to shoot forward if he wanted to. But the nice thing about the Grand Inquisitor is he can just kind of hang back, take those range, quote-unquote, 3 shots, and make them range 1 with his ability. fifth brother could easily do a 3-bank in here and boost to focus, trying to catch red to get a homing missile off. Now, watch to see if fifth brother can get both of those charges off. I think that's going to be a big point to this game.
Yeah, that'll be a big indicator. I mean, if you lose fifth brother before you can do either of them, that's bad news bears. So here's the question. It seems like we're likely going to get an engagement, if not this turn, then the following one for sure. But I feel like we are, like Pedro is coming to Leo in the rocks where these vultures really have a lot of success because they have that flexibility with the grappling struts.
Yes.
Do you think Pedro should be waiting? Should be trying to maybe play a little cagier and try to maybe pull them down to that bottom right-hand corner to play in the sunshine, or maybe towards that just left side where there's less rocks available?
Yeah, I think Pedro has already started to commit a little bit, right? He's turned the Grand Inquisitor in towards the fight. I would have liked to see him go towards that sunshine spot a little more to start a little more of a flank. I mean, to really, so the games, I'm obviously not undefeated flying a droid swarm. At Worlds this past year, I was flying a droid swarm as well. And there was one game that I got almost tabled. And it was by 3 Jedi that just basically, and you've talked about this before, Dion, you just say, okay, I'm going to come in with one ship. You're going to try to be chasing it, and I'm just going to sprint away. What was the terminology you used? Like kind of the bait and switch? Cycling? Is that right?
Yeah, cycling.
I think that's what you called it.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Cycling, like, that is how you beat a droid swarm. And so if Pedro can do that effectively, that's great. But it requires having multiple vectors of attack. It requires having one flanker, one guy kind of coming at and then turning away, and another flanker. So you really need 3 approaches. And right now, I think the Grand Inquisitor is committed too much. If he'd come down around that rock and gone a little faster, I'd feel better about the engagement. But yeah, right now I think Leonardo has what he wants. Seventh Sister, it looks like he's committing guns to Seventh Sister right now, and she could be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Seventh Sister, maybe if she's...
I mean, because here's the thing. The Inquisitors don't want to be in bullseyes because they can easily take damage by that seer ability. So they really have to take that evade, hoping that they land in a spot where they're not in any bullseye arcs, so that they have that evade backed by 2 force in the case of Seventh Sister.
So I'm curious, would the one hard barrel roll leaves you still in range of at least the 2 of them? You know what move is looking pretty good. If he barrel rolls them all to the left, then something like 3 turn seems pretty solid going between those rocks. If he spreads them out more, you could also end up doing something like a 3 or 4 straight and then boosting to the side. That way you're maybe only getting shot by 1, and then you're now behind the swarm. That's another possibility. But it depends on where he guessed. I mean, and that's that 50-50 choice. It's like I don't know where you're going. You don't know where I'm going. Let's see who wins.
And Leo is making sure that his flank is not exposed towards his side of the board. Yeah. He's basically walled that off and said, nope, you're not coming in on this angle. If you commit towards the center, now all of a sudden you have 2 flanks that people are able to take on. But if you just keep that droid swarm to one side of the board to protect that one, well, now I only have to worry about 1 approach vector. Seer is a little out of position right now. As much as Seer is a support ship, Seer is also your 3-dice gun.
Yeah.
And that can be, at least stripping tokens wise, a big piece. And he's a little far behind. And now that Leo is barrel rolling, it looks like the entire swarm to the left, Seer's flank is potentially going to be exposed by Grand Inquisitor. I mean, it's tough to kill Seer before chewing through a few droids, but if you can kill him before the droids, oh man, then you have a huge advantage. Not only is he 60 points, but his ability and TA-175 built in, I mean, that's where it's at.
Yeah, getting rid of those tactical droid is absolutely huge Yeah, I'm super excited for Pedro's move here. So did we just did we just get a calculate? I mean, not a calculate.
Focus.
That's not the word I'm looking for. Coordinate. I think he just coordinated off of.
I think that was
off of the boost.
Nope. So Jendon did a hard stop, and then Fifth Brother did a one bank.
Oh, okay. Oh, in range. That's gonna.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was literally about to say that I think Leo left orange out to dry a little too far. I don't know why he barreled it that way and didn't link it to a calculate either, because he's tokenless. I don't know. He might have one ship in range 1, that being the Trade Federation drone that's orangish red.
So Pedro going right, turn to the hard turn to the right, barrel rolling out. That would be out of range for pink, yellow, and green vultures. The teal and the blue might still have shots. It is range 3, so there's a shot. There's an opportunity there. They did have the linked action for the focus.
Does teal have a bullseye? I'm zooming in here. I think teal might. It's going to be close. But still, it's at range 3, so unlikely to take damage. I like Pedro's choice here because he's basically saying, all right, I know you don't want to give this board edge up for a flank, but I'm going to get as close to it as I can with Seven Sister to try to get that flank. That's a bold strategy, but I like it. And there you go. Grand Inquisitor coming down the board edge to try to get that flank.
And here's the homing missile trigger.
Yep.
What does he choose to do? Waiting for the call.
I think you just take the hit crit here, as much as it's painful, and hope you don't get the direct hit. Because 4 dice against 2, basically unmodded, you're gonna die anyway. But he's choosing
to take the 4.
Make him shoot. Okay, sure. Yeah, you spend both 4s here.
Well, you know what? You could spend the lock and end up with 4 anyway. You could because you could end up with 5. There it is. Spend the 4s. 5.
Oh yeah, you dead, droid. You dead. Nothing you can do.
You did.
Yep. So yeah, that's what Pedro needed. He needed this in the first engagement.
Yep.
You're basically killing a droid, not trading anything, and you really haven't given up position because the rest of the droid swarm is not in a spot to be able to block you.
Spends a calculate, but then you go ahead and spends 2 force, and that is 3 damage. Hit crit into
good call.
That.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. That was. And so right there is probably why I say fine. I'll take the hit crit. Yeah. Because then at least you have a chance to live.
Yep.
I don't know.
Hit.
Easy to say after seeing results.
Of course.
But I think so. In a typical engagement with 8 ships, you just kind of expect I'm going to lose a droid in the opening engagement, but you're hoping that you've at least traded position for it in a way that whatever ship just killed you, you're going to block and then light up the next round. But right now, there's no way for Leo to really block any of Pedro's ships. So I would expect that Leo's probably going to lose another droid here at the end of next round, especially if Fifth Brother is able to just kind of do a 2 forward and get another homing missile off.
May I have another?
Yeah. Thank you for 1. Here's another. Munch, 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 munch. Oh, they are. Oh, I see.
Yeah, they forgot
Technically, he would have gotten a calculate as well.
Yep.
But it didn't matter because he wasn't within range of anybody that was going to get shot. All right. Well, we'll see if Teal has a shot. I'm really curious if that's in bullseye. I think it's just out. But you could easily plink a damage here on Seventh Sister.
Is it in that bullseye? Oh, those are going to be in range 3.
Shooting with blue first, trying to clear some force or tokens.
Yep, there are. She has 2 force available and the focus.
Yep.
Just 1.
So 1 crit. But yeah, not being able to spend that evade or use that evade token. I mean, blanks hurt.
Safe.
One evade.
Only rolled one, and that's enough.
But yeah, I mean, we've all rolled 4 blanks before. It's not unheard of. Looks like just outside of that bullseye. So, well done there by Pedro. Yeah, one's not going to get her done, I don't think. Yep,
and that's enough.
There's that paint. Yeah, I'd say that first round definitely went to Pedro. He did a really good job range controlling. I really like that one heart away with Seven Sister. Getting that close to that board edge is unexpected. And also now you're threatening a flank. And you're saying, all right, Leonardo, you're either going to commit to Seven Sister, exposing your right flank even worse, or turn towards Fifth Brother, which you're only going to have range 3 shots at because you did a good job of range control, and now Seven Sisters on your flank. With Fifth Brother, or with Grand Inquisitor rather, coming around at your other flank. So, man, Pedro's done a really good job. Look at these 3 Inquisitors. They are almost all evenly spaced away from Leonardo's swarm, and they are all at different vectors. This is what we talked about.
Yep.
He did an amazing job of looking like he was committing some way, only to say, nope, I'm getting to this positioning. I have a feeling Pedro's seen droid swarms before.
I think so. And then on top of that, you know, the Inquisitor list, it plays very tanky. Like, it can definitely be tanky, but the approach here by Pedro is, honestly, it's an offensive position, because next turn is going to be a big difference. Of course, you also have the initiative advantage for all 3 of these Inquisitors, and most likely they'll all have shots next turn. And then you have the shuttle coming in for backup afterwards. You could potentially have a turn where you're clearing out 4 Vultures in a turn. Yep.
And if I'm Leonardo right now, I think you have to commit, as much as it stinks, to Seven Sister. And so for a couple reasons. One, you really don't have anywhere else to go. It's better. But so you forward about I'd say a 4 forward with Teal, and then barrel roll towards the board edge to be like, yeah, you can do your 1 hard, but you're not going to boost past. And then the blue and pink go forward, barrel roll over. You're not going to get those bullseyes lined up most likely, but at least you're getting a lot of shots into Seven Sister. And that's what you want. Yellow could do a 2 hard and then barrel roll up the board edge. Green has a couple different options as well to go forward, barrel roll. Red or orange, I guess, depending on if you're colorblind or not, is kind of in a weird spot. And so is Seer. Like, Seer almost needs to do a 1 hard boost if he can, towards the rest of the swarm, if that's the direction you're going to go. But I think that would be my target if I were Leo. But even so, man, Pedro's just done a really good job of not giving Leo a lot of good choices. I like that a lot.
Yep, he is definitely controlling the board.
That's not easy to do, folks. I am super impressed with Pedro's approach against the swarm.
I would expect nothing less.
He's spoken very highly of him. And man, we didn't talk about this last round. Being able to kill a droid, getting the pinata party, as we like to call it, with no side effects, right? It's like, okay, sure, you got that ability, but it literally got you nothing.
Yay. I will tell you, the pinata droid is an upcoming animation. It is on my list of things to do.
Oh, that's amazing. D asked me how many calculates I bring to a tournament when I'm flying this type of droid swarm.
Yep.
And I literally don't have a count. Like, I just bring a giant bag of calculate tokens. I make sure that I've got enough if like 1 or 2 goes off, like in my actual like box.
Yep.
But then, then it's like, well, if it goes really bad and I have to, if it goes really badly, then I have all these to throw out. Usually that's like a mirror match. Where like you need that many because things aren't dying and you're still getting shots. But it can get kind of crazy with calculates, that's for sure.
Well, you know what? If you need full stacks of calculates, you can get them at Curled Paw Creatives. Use coupon code SpaceJam2020 for 20% off. You didn't even know that you just yeeted me a line. Great job, Paul.
You know what? I'm okay with that because they do make high quality products, and I have bought several things from Curled Paw. My most recent purchase were actually the strut tokens.
Nice.
And what I'll do is I'll throw those out on next to a ship instead of having to flip the card out in front of me, and just make sure it's okay with my opponent first. But just as a visual indicator for them and me, because the biggest corner case where it can be confusing is if you fly onto an asteroid, then close your struts, or sorry, open your struts, but then barrel roll off that rock. You are not allowed, or I guess you're allowed to, but you're not going to be able to land on a rock that next turn. If your struts are already open, you can't jump onto another rock. You have to wait a turn. And that visual indicator is very, very helpful for both me and my opponents.
Agreed.
So as expected, Teal went forward. I expect to see the barrel over to block the one hard boost. If it fits, he's thinking through where to position that. Yep. And then grabbing that calculate in a stress.
I think one of the problems with that is that the droids. All right, so he just missed the rock. Very nice.
It didn't flash. I thought that might clear just. Yep, and then there's the barrel over. Yep. Yeah, that was his only option, which was committing to Seventh Sister. Ooh, also just missed. Same deal. Barrel roll calculate. That's what they like to do. So those three were the obvious moves.
Yep.
Really curious to see what he does down here with the four that have yet to move.
Honestly,
with them being stressed, he has a couple different options.
Even if Seventh Sister gets blocked up here, if you only have those two other shots coming in, you are fine. Everything's okay.
Yeah. Yellow will also get a shot if he chooses to barrel roll to the left here off of that. Which I would. Doesn't mean he will, but... Oh, gonna go to the right. So splitting the swarm up. Interesting.
I think that's the fifth brother says, ooh, tasty.
Yeah,
literally in like the same spot the other one was before.
Yeah. I've seen this movie before. Yeah. I will say that the swarm gets its strength from being able to focus fire one target down. And he must have been afraid of blocking green by barrel rolling that direction. But yeah, yellow's just kind of out to dry right now. Because red just rotates and is going to be out of range one. You can...
and you still got Captain Seer out here just kind of hanging out. All right.
Yeah, and Seer's going to be out of range for... Like, if one of these droids pop, that ability's not going to go off.
Teal, blue, and pink.
Too far away. Yep. And 2 rounds ago, I remember saying, I think Seer's going in the wrong direction and might be a little far away. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. But Seer now has given a flank up to Grand Inquisitor. Because I imagine the Grand Inquisitor is either going to do 1 hard or a 3 hard.
This is a coordinate. Coordinated and evade to...
So strong.
Fifth brother.
That clears, does not block. That's a big deal.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And dodge Blue's arc there, too.
Yes. I think you just take the evade. You take the evade, you have the force behind you. You're probably not going to take any... Maybe you end up taking a shield.
Yeah, just take the evade. That's all you need. Because you're getting shot at, let's see, from green, pink, and teal. Teal's got you in a bullseye, but you're too far away from Seer. You're not going to be able to use the crack shot ability.
People's asking about the space between Seventh Sister and the Trade Federation drone. We'll go ahead and get you that zoom cam.
It's close.
There it is. Very close, but clearly
if those nubs were lined up, that would have bumped.
Yep.
So fifth brother...
I do think, though, for Seventh Sister, the bank boost may have fit over to be able to get completely out of all those arcs. But
yeah, that would have been close.
It's really close. I can understand why not wanting to risk that.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised the fifth brother just didn't say, I'm going to take a lock here and light you up. But
same.
choosing the barrel roll, being patient. I mean, the problem is the next round, because ultimately Fifth Brother has telegraphed, unless you're going to disengage, that you're going to do a 1 bank the next turn. And now the entirety of the swarm can turn in on Fifth Brother, and now Fifth Brother
I guess
would be in trouble.
The reason might be also because he doesn't have both force available. All right, 2 hits.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Good call.
This is Seventh Sister. Range 1, spending the lock.
I think that's Grand Inquisitor actually at Initiative 5 first.
Oh, you're right. So 3 hits. And
blanks out.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Sure. Dead. Oof. That. Oh man, that definitely feels bad, and I've been there.
This is what they call the Inquisition.
Just give me something. So yeah, so he must have shot at yellow.
Not sure who he shot at.
I think yellow. He had the target lock on yellow, and he spent a force to make sure that it was the range 1 bonus, using his ability. So and he just pinged orange and green. Yeah. So yellow's dead. Died in the exact same spot as orange. Maybe don't go in that spot, droids.
It's a cursed place. The valley of the rocks.
Oh man, you could easily lose teal here. So that's 2 hits. No target lock. So probably just gonna just let that ride.
Yep.
And I doubt Seventh Sister would use her ability to cancel and evade there, because that force is too valuable for defense.
We'll see what the roll is.
2 dice. There we go. So rolling for teal. And,
oh my goodness. Oh.
Well, still alive.
Yeah.
So like you're fine, and you're not gonna die here. You're getting the range 1 shot. Yeah, it's in bullseye, but Seer's out of range. You gotta have Seer closer. Like, Seer should be behind where green is right now. Like, you're talking positionally, that's where you wanted Seer to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Fifth Brother looks like shooting.
I would just maybe take
Seer.
Yep, I'd take the shot at Seer.
Yeah, because you're not getting the Soulless one reroll. Hit, focus. I think you spend just letting it ride. Yeah, he wants to have his force charges back
for
up
tomorrow,
next round.
for next round. I almost said for tomorrow.
You called that. I totally missed it. Man, so that's.
I mean,
do you just take the 1 damage? I think you spend the focus here, because it's very unlikely you're going to get any damage on Fifth Brother.
I agree. With focus evade, it's 3 dice.
There's no way. Not with only 2 shots into him.
He's spending the focus. All right. That is the right choice.
All right. Jendon didn't have a shot, so now it's time for some return fire. But losing 2 droids for nothing,
yep.
I would argue not even position, does feel bad. So we'll see if Leo can recover.
Here's a range 3 shot going into Fifth Brother. Got 1.
Yep, just 1. So good decision spending that focus too.
Yeah,
focus
that always feels terrible when you set yourself up. You're like, I'm going to save this for defense. Ooh,
yeah, then there's the natties, baby.
Red Vulture will also have a shot.
Yep. Yeah. Range 3 obstructed with all the tokens. I
Probably
don't
not.
think you're going to do anything.
You get to try, Paul. You get to try.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
1.
And, yeah, no way.
With the evade token and no other shots coming in, that's it.
And you needed him to blank out.
There's impossible and impossible.
Yep. Well, and I think Red can do a 2 straight off this rock next turn if you really wanted to. You could rotate if you really wanted to. You just hang out and barrel if you wanted to. I mean, you got a couple options. And I think the rest of the droid swarm now turns towards Fifth Brother, But if you're Pedro, you see that coming from a mile away because that's the only option you have.
Oh, there we go. Hit crit going into Seventh Sister.
Seventh Sister, yep.
She does have evade,
She's got the
double
evade
focus.
Token. Yeah, spend the evade, you're fine.
Got 2 other shots coming in to Seventh Sister. Oh man, that Alabaster Hippo is going to be coming in next turn. Here is
he's saving the teal shot for the money shot. He needs to do some damage here.
He's got calculates available. 2 crits.
Yep. Not terrible.
Spend a force.
Yep, got to spend a force. So that's another mod. Okay, and then this is the shot you want to do damage. Yep. I mean, I've seen crazy things where Inquisitors just get one shot by droids.
Yep, but
if you get a direct hit in there.
Captain Seer's ability is not available. Way too far away.
Correct. That is hit, crit, focus. So probably spending a calculate to change that to a hit.
We have a chance to get half points right here.
If Seventh Sister blanks out and gets a direct hit, she dies.
Not today, but we'll get half points.
Die. But that's half points. That's what Leo needed to get back into this game.
Oh man.
So this game feels like we've maybe played 2 to 3 rounds. We have 33 minutes left. That's it. The game is already over halfway done, time-wise. That's nuts.
Man, if Seer had been in a better position, that crack shot ability from Captain Seer, if you guys are not familiar with it, it says that while a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 performs a primary attack if the defender is in the bullseye, which Seventh Sister was, before the neutralized results step, the friendly ship may spend 1 calculate to cancel 1 evade. So she would have taken a crit if Captain Seer would have been in the vicinity.
Yep, and like as you're looking at the swarm, Seer right now should be directly behind green. If you were flying this at a capacity where you're getting all of those triggers for all your ships.
Yep.
So Leo just kind of sent Seer a little too far around the gap. Now the good news is he can easily recover from this because Seer can just 3 bank in if you wanted to, even a 2 bank in, and all these droids are just going to do 2 hards, I'd imagine, to get back into the fight. And now they're all in range with Seer right now, but they weren't when it mattered. And as you were saying, if Seer had been closer, using that crack shot like ability, getting that crit through, who knows, Seventh Sister could be dead, and that's 1 less ship you have to worry about, 1 less flanker. Hey, I'd take a trade of 2 ships for Seventh Sister. That sounds like a great trade.
Now, really quick for the chat here, we have this round and 2 more after this. Who's staying for all 6? Who's got me? Who's got me to round 6? Let me know. Definitely East.
We had a little bit of a drop-off, which I expected after the midnight hour.
For sure.
But I'm still feeling fresh, man.
Yeah.
So we'll see how long that lasts, but let's do this.
I mean, it's Friday night in the U.S., you know what I mean? Like, most people we're going to be up anyway.
I got a little decaf coffee, which has a slight trace of caffeine in it. I'm hoping that rides it out. But not enough to, like, keep me up for an all-nighter, because that would be sad. I need, like, at least a couple hours sleep.
Yes, agreed.
If I'm going to function tomorrow. All right, so I'm expecting this clump of droids, teal, blue, pink, and green, to do 2 hards in. I know it's the obvious maneuver, but what else are you going to do? Red, I would like to see do a 2 straight off, just to clog up a lane a little bit, as well as get kind of closer to the buddies, because that network calculations is pretty much useless if you're not around them. And then Seer, who hasn't taken any damage yet, could probably do a 2 bank, even a 3 bank. Probably a 2 bank. The 3 bank gets blocked by red. To threaten if Fifth Brother turns in. But if I'm Pedro, again, I see that coming, so you just say, all right, I'm going to do a 1 hard the opposite direction with Fifth Brother. Grand Inquisitor keeps flanking. I mean, Pedro's just done a really good job of setting up hard choices for Leo.
Yeah, man, where are you going to go, my marble space cow? Where are you going?
And I mean, Jendon at this point has a lock on Seer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think you one bank towards Seer. I don't know. I mean, that's also dangerous. You could go one straight too, I guess. Or one bank the other way. I don't know. I mean, 2 droids have died. So is this the point where you're like, I feel comfortable enough bringing in Jend in the fight? I don't know. I wouldn't want to face 8 ships. I'd be okay facing 4, I think, if you're the shuttle.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the other the other Inquisitors are in the vicinity and getting shots, I think I'm okay with it. I think everybody's gonna get a shot except for Seven Sister this turn, unless Seven Sister did something crazy.
I mean, Seven Sister could easily do a K turn. There's not a big threat of anyone shooting at her if she did that, and that would set up the next couple turns for her pretty well too. Although, I mean, she did just get half pointed and lost a force, so this would be a great disengage round too. I don't know.
For anybody wondering who wants to see what lists are being played today, you can type _lists in the chat, and there's a PDF linked in there with all the lists. The lists are not public on tabletop.to in order to prevent slowdowns during the tournament, because when too many people are on it, it does slow down. So that's why the lists are not public there, but we did make it available for you guys to look at, so go ahead and look at them there. Again, !lists will bring up that PDF for you to look at, peruse, hug, love, print, whatever you want. Oh, come on, Space Cow. 2 bank right into the fray. Let's go.
Choose violence.
Yes.
He is your choose violence caster.
He's my guy. He's my guy. Let's go.
Yeah. So what's interesting about Leo's choice here about I mean, he's clearly chosen Jendon as his target. Yeah. I think we can surmise based on where his ships are pointed. He's gonna need to get Seer over there quick if you want to utilize that ability. So Seer's got to be doing a 3 bank to get over there quick.
Man, that one hard to the left is looking good for Seven Sister. Just like,
yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. That one hard is gonna be super tasty.
Like, may I have your flank? Ooh, oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep, and already got a lock on Seer too. So I mean, you can just take a focus if you want, grab a lock on another target, do whatever you want.
I'm going to put a poll up on the stream to see where everybody's watching from here in a little bit. So jumping off of the rock, 2 straight for the Red Vulture.
But still out of range for network calculations. Maybe the barrel roll fits forward. I don't think so. That might be what he's considering right now. And then you're in range of green, just so that you're sharing. Sharing is caring. And man, depending on what Seer dialed in, if Seer did dial in the 3 bank, which is kind of what you need to do to get closer to your friends, you almost have to try the barrel roll.
Yeah.
All right, so Seer didn't go that fast, I'd assume. Okay. Maybe a 2 bank. Yeah. There's the 3 bank that bumps. Bummer. But that's still going to be out of range for teal and blue. So that crack shot ability is not coming in. Space Cow's just stopping.
Nah, fam. All right, so we did see we saw the 5 straight, the duck out for Seven Sister. This could be rough because that would have been a great opportunity to get another shot, more focused fire onto these onto the Vultures. And honestly, while I understand the stop maneuver does give you range, you no longer have a modifier on your attack or your defense anymore. I think I would have preferred to see the Space Cow go in there, get a range 1 shot, and really put some hurt in and just try to erase a ship off the board.
Yep, agreed. And Seven Sister, I understand the disengage, but at the same time, like, there was no way for those droids to threaten her again. Like, there's just, like, even if they wanted to. I understand the turn away from Grand Inquisitor, but Seven Sister could have easily done the 1 harder 4K and been totally fine because there were no other options for the droids. What did Fifth Brother do? Take an evade? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this is going to be a turn in Leo's favor here from a damage race capacity.
Yep, and they're all obstructed right now?
Yep.
So it looks like he's going towards the back at the teal droid because it only has 1 hole right now. Remember, he has to hit in order for the ability to matter.
Oh.
And whiffs on that attack.
Well, that feels bad.
Yep. So he might be giving up.
But he's saving that homing missile. Saving the homing missile. I mean, I still think you shoot at Teal here with Jendin, but I agree. I think the hard stop was a mistake just because you're not getting the mods. But watch, he'll just natty out here and it'll be fine. Get all focus results.
Oh, hit crit. There you go.
Okay. See, Jendin is choosing violence just in his own way.
That's right. I do it my way.
And
it's gonna have to spend
he's gonna survive.
He's gonna spend those calculates.
That network calculation ability, so strong. Something we didn't talk about. Who is optimized prototype on?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't either. Oh, there it is. It's on Seventh Sister.
Aha.
Johnny taking care of us. Thanks, buddy. So that would be useful against Seer to be able to remove shields, which now explains why Seventh Sister took the target lock on Seer at the start of the game. Because you can spend a hit, crit, or focus results to remove a shield from the defender, or flip one of its face-down damage cards. And since Seer does not have plating, crits matter. And that also explains why Jendin took a target lock on Seer as well, because you got to have a lock on the ship that you're using that for. Sorry, dice are being rolled. No, not paying attention. So one ship coming in to Jendin, it looks like, or one hit. Natties, no problem. 2 more shots coming into Jendin.
And nothing there.
I don't think there are any calculates to spend from friends close enough. And then Pink shoots. So this has just been a pillow fight round, as I like to call it.
I've been in some pretty violent pillow fights.
That's fair. That's valid.
All right.
All right, there we go. There's a hit crit coming through. Spend Green's token.
Calculates. So you know you're...
And so probably getting a shield, but who knows? Jendin's just been rolling natties. So let's see those 2 squiggles, Jendin.
Snake eyes.
2 shields down. So yeah, that was... So now, a good trade for Leo. The good news for Pedro is that he's got some ships that are ready to start flanking. Although Grand Inquisitor's in a weird spot right now.
Whiffs on that attack. Range 3 through the rock. 2 blanks.
Man, Jendin would have gotten 3 defense dice on that. I kind of want to see. I wanted to see that happen. Oh well.
And we got a shot into Fifth Brother.
Fifth Brother's got that evade and a couple force charges, so most likely not doing anything. But who knows? He could blank out.
And one hit.
2 hits.
Spend the calculate for 2. And
Brother needs some paint.
oh, we're fine.
Spend the evade. Safe. NBD. Those guys are deceptively tanky.
So if you have not...
They're basically mini defenders.
Yes. Look at all my mods. Anybody out there who's watching right now, if you haven't answered our poll, you see it right there on the screen. Where are you watching from? Just all you have to do is type the number that corresponds to where you're watching from. So 1 is North America, 2 is South America, 3 is Africa, 4 is Europe, 5 is Asia, 6 is Australia. It's just a fun way to show the spread of the X-Wing community. Only continent not on there is Antarctica, because you know it's Antarctica. So yeah, so go ahead, help participate. I know we have over 200 people watching right now. The Space Jam Sydney round 4 right now. It's just fun to see where you're watching from. So even if you're not a big chatter and you usually don't participate in the chat, just go ahead, grab your phone, your computer, your remote if you're watching on a smart TV, and just go ahead and put in that number just so we can see where you're watching from.
All right, so this turn, I think you just do 2 straights with teal and blue. You could even link it into a barrel roll calculate towards the top of the board edge so that your next turn you have that 2 hard with a few options. Pink, gonna be close to that rock. A 2 straight, I think, lands on it. So you could just flip struts there, no problem. But then you'll have to get out of the way for green, who's probably going to be doing a 2 hard to land on that as well. Red looks like has a clear shot. Not quite. So that could land on that rock too. I mean, this rock right in between the droids is going to be prime real estate this round.
Who's going to get it?
And then Seer, I think, can do a 1 bank, maybe a 2 bank. I mean, if you're committing to the shuttle, you need to burn the shuttle down.
Agreed.
Especially because Grand Inquisitor is kind of out of position. 7th Sister, yeah, is coming on your flank, but is far enough away. And 5th Brother's a little too close for those homing missiles to be scary. So this is the turn, I think, that you try to kill Jendon. Or at least get half points.
We have a Kiwi in the chat saying that they are insulted by saying they have to be from Australia. It's the continent of Australia, not the country of Australia. Okay, man, the Kiwis they get all up in arms.
Paul Johnson, that was you, wasn't it? We talked about him earlier. He's Kiwi.
I love my Kiwis.
I think he would be mock offended, so to speak.
Oh, how dare you!
New Zealand is definitely a place on my bucket list.
The continent is called Oceania. Not in my social studies book. It wasn't called Oceania. Sorry. Thanks, American education system. You lied to me.
Ooh. You're part of that education system now, though, aren't you?
I am, but I teach music. I got my stuff down pat. My kids come out of my class being so skilled in orchestra. Constantly told.
I don't know if I told you this. My mom was an orchestra teacher.
What?
So mad respect, man. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. She just retired 2-3 years ago.
Well, respect to your mama.
She did it for 30 years. Loved it.
That's awesome. Small world. Small world.
Yeah. All right. So blue did the 2 straight. Obvious move was obvious. Yeah. And there's the barrel roll to set up the 2 hard the next turn. But let's see how fast Jendon went. I didn't be able to arc dodge. Yeah, pink goes 2 forward, lands on that rock.
Roger, rock.
Yeah, don't care. And yeah, you do the barrel roll off of it so you get out of the way of your friends. And like, oh man, this is the tricky part about flying against droid swarms. Like, even though it's obvious what they're gonna do in some cases, it's like, well, I don't know what to do against that, just because they can maneuver so well. So you really have to think a couple turns ahead of them as far as what their possibilities are, depending on what you're flying, I guess. So like, Pedro did such a good job of making Leo choose lanes, and then 5th Brother or Inquisitor turning away, Grand Inquisitor turning away there, I think.
That's rough,
was a
for sure.
Minor misplay. And then, as we were talking about, 7th Sister could have done the 1 hard. And by the way, if she had done the 1 hard, she'd be behind the entire swarm right now.
Yep, she would be in prime flank position. And now you're going to have a couple shit. Did it bump?
It bumped, but it didn't hit the rock. So struts aren't going to be closed.
Oh.
That's actually fairly significant for next turn. So Seer does, what was that, a 1 hard or a 2 hard? 2 hard.
Yep.
Grabbing a focus. There's your big gun. Putting a Jendon. Yeah, that's what Leo wanted.
Yep, that
Jendon's
is
gonna be hurting this turn.
Bad position for Jendon.
Now, Jendon does have a lock on Seer. So this is the turn that you just light Seer up.
Yep.
Grab a focus, double modded shot, do some damage. 7th Sister's going to come in, remove a shield, at least, with the advanced optimized prototype, ability.
Is the Inquisitor not stressed? Okay.
Brother could be in trouble.
I want to see a hard turn barrel roll focus on that 5th Brother shot.
Interesting. So didn't focus, coordinated a barrel roll to 5th Brother. I'm assuming you link that to a focus so that you clear it and still have a mod?
Maybe.
He is not linking it, it looks like. Interesting.
Waiting for the call here.
Yeah, okay, there's the link.
Focus takes a stress.
And I'm assuming then, yeah, just does the bump, but doesn't care. Got the mod he needed.
And the barrel
But he is lined up in a tasty bullseye from green.
Yeah. You got a boost here with Seven Sister. You're just out of range, I think.
Need to be in range. Boost, link it. Yep.
Might have that bullseye on.
Yeah, the bullseye will be on. You also have optimized prototype as an option. There you go.
Barrel
link that.
focus.
So looks like, okay, so interesting. So Leo's target is obviously Jendon. Maybe crack-shotting Fifth Brother. But Pedro's like, all right, Seer, I got you. Got you dead to rights.
All right,
Here
first
comes a Grand
shot
Inquisitor
here.
shot into Seer.
That's a hit crit after using that focus token.
Yep.
And the
Now, Seer will be able to reroll one defense dice.
one out the box. Wait for the reroll
So reroll
first.
that one.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Now Soulless one.
Yep, Soulless one, reroll a dice. Probably, if it's even a focus result, spend the focus because you do not want that crit going through.
Yep, spend the focus. I mean, does he have Impervium plating?
He does not. You don't have room for it. So those crits matter. So I think that focus spend was correct. But yeah, this is a turn where you burn down Seer.
All right. And that is in bullseye with Captain Seer. You could end up seeing the Seven Sister ability, which is essentially crack shot. Hit crit.
Ooh,
that is lined
hello.
up. That is lined up.
Gonna need a lot of paint. Oh man.
You don't even have to use it.
One, but well, if he rerolls into evade.
Yep,
which he did.
You use the ability right now. Crack shot with the Seven Sister and hit crit.
Take the hit crit, please.
Down to
That's
one
half
hull.
points on Seer. Well, he's got Soulless 1, which gives him 2 additional hull, so he's got 3.
Oh, true that. That's still half points, right?
That is still half. Yep. Disabled power regulator. Oh, don't like to see that.
No, disabled power regulator says that before you engage, you gain 1 ion token. So next turn, Seer will be ionized.
Yep. Yeah, good job from Pedro. Taking advantage of a really unfortunate Seer position.
Fifth Brother getting a shot now.
I assume shoot at Teal, since that's 1 health left. I think that's who he's declared.
2 hits.
Yeah. 2 hits. I need some paint.
Yes, it is because of the 3 dice, the range 3. Got him.
Still alive if you spend yourself and someone else's.
Yep. And does, but those resources, those calculates going away could end up affecting your shot coming in from or going into Jendon.
Yep, and Teals will hurt more because that was a bullseye that was lined up. But those are resources that are gone. So Jendon looks like has a... Is that range 2 or range 1? Range 2.
And 3
oh
hits.
My word. Okay,
Captain Seer, you made the Empire mad.
You might die this round, Seer. Like right now, you might die.
And
lives on 1 health, but
1.
That, I mean, you're ionized, so you're probably not living next round. Like the dial's not terrible,
but when you're not allowed to move,
but
you just go one
when
forward.
You're not going anywhere. Here's Ion token. Man, I think you shoot at the shuttle because of the less evades, just to be able to try to nuke something. It doesn't have a reinforce right now.
It does not. I mean, that's your easiest path to points for sure, but I don't know what I would do here.
I get it, right? Like you kind of want to shoot at Fifth Brother, but like Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe Fifth Brother's the right call. Just to try to... You do have a bullseye lined up with green. But, like, you have so many guns on Jendin. You could easily kill Jendin this round.
And I think I just saw the arrow. Yes, it is on Jendin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's definitely the safer play.
Just one.
Watch, here comes 1 of 8.
The
Because one... That's what they do.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
Got a shield off. All right.
Answering a quick question here
And
in the
now
chat.
all the droids.
Somebody asked, do I play the didgeridoo? They can't say that I play it because I don't practice it. I have played it before. I played it on a world music concert during college. It was fun. I was pretty good at it.
So right now, if you're Leo, you make sure that you are firing with ships that don't have Fifth Brother in arc first, so that if you somehow kill Jendin before green shoots, he might have a shot that does damage on Fifth Brother.
Yeah, somehow. I mean, it's going to take some uphill climb to try to get it
unlikely,
going.
but at this point, Leo's down.
Yep.
Like he's in a disadvantage. He's got to start taking some risks here. Did another damage to Jendin there.
2 hits. There we go. Might be able to get half points.
So at least one more. That for sure is half points now.
And roll the evade.
Yep. All right. And then I think he has 2 more shots remaining. No, 3 more shots. He's got teal, green, and red, I think.
Teal does have that bullseye lined up, but doesn't have a calculate.
Yep. So can't use a seer. Yeah, I don't think he's gotten a seer trigger once.
Nope.
This entire game. And TA-175 triggered twice, but didn't matter either time.
Here's a shot.
So good job to Pedro.
And no calculates in range, so that's just going to be one.
No, he's got green. Doesn't he? Or is that red?
I think that's red.
Yeah, that's green's calculate.
Is it?
Red bumped, so it's green's.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
So, yep, so that's 2. Well, I mean, so here's the thing. It's like, well, I want to save that for the crack shot. But you're never guaranteed a focus result.
Correct.
So, like, if you get one, you spend it.
Yep.
Jendin on 2 health here. 2 more shots coming in.
It can happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is the danger if you don't have a reinforce. You can just get basically one-rounded.
Ooh, hit
didn't roll that dice. Hit crit. 1 more hit, and Jendin's dead.
You need the squiggle.
Need some paint here. Oof.
And gone.
Jendin goes down.
Down in flames. I mean, you traded Jendin for most of Captain Seer. Yeah.
That's a good trade. That's a really good trade. Because, yeah, Seer's not around for this world next round. I mean, you do get the focus, so maybe with some dice luck, but I don't know. I just don't see it. He's got 1 life left. Does he? Did I miscount? I must have.
Yeah, he actually only has 4 cards.
Well, I'm terrible at counting, apparently. All right, now
2
he's
hits.
dead.
I promise you he is.
That's one way to get it. Just re-roll your opponent's dice along with your evade.
Uh-huh.
All right. So yeah, I mean, that's a good trade. Trading Jendin for Seer. That's fine. Because Pedro's got 3 pocket aces that can clean up this droid swarm real fast. And there are only 5 minutes remaining. So, I mean, this is probably the last round, yeah? Because of how many ships have to move?
For sure. 5 minutes and change.
Yep.
You are correct.
So Jendin's dead. You got half on Seventh Sister. So if my math is right, I think that's 70 to 80. So Leo's only down by 10 points. He's going to have to half another ship at least. And he's about to lose Seer, which is another 30 points. So most likely you're going to have to kill something pretty big. So I think this is pretty comfortably in Pedro's camp right now.
And just to avoid the confusion, there's nothing, there's no card on the table that forces an opponent to reroll an attack die. It just happened on accident. They accidentally highlighted the wrong or the additional red die. There is something like that in the game. L337 can make crew can make an opponent reroll their attack dice. Just for reference there.
Yep. Well, I'm not sure if Fifth Brother's going to get both homing missiles off, but I don't know if it'll matter. And by the way, if Leo loses, I will be 1-3 with my predictions. That's all right. We're having fun. Yeah, taking some time. I mean, this is a big turn. I think both players realize that, and they both realize this could be the last turn. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple more dials that need to be set still. Although not for Seer.
Nope.
No dial for you. But that's a big deal, because Seer can't get a gun on target.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I know one thing that I typically do when I'm flying a swarm is you have Seer taking those pot shots at range 3 with 3 dice. But then towards the mid to end game, that's when you really use it as a battering ram. Try to get a block, try to get a 4 dice attack into somebody with a mod, using your little guys to block while Seer comes in to hit hard because he's tanky enough to handle it if you kept him out of harm's way before that. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about this all game. Pedro's done a really good job of making Leo choose targets. And while I might have done a few different things with Grand Inquisitor, it's obviously worked out for him. He's kept Grand Inquisitor out of harm's way. And that is his most expensive piece tied with Colonel Jendon. So Pedro's doing a good job.
Sure.
It all comes down to this. Last round.
Down to the wire.
Most likely. 2 minutes and 30. I mean, unless they fly through this round, this is most likely last round. So rotating. Hopefully it allows him to. Yeah. So this is a rare circumstance where he couldn't rotate because the nubs line up with the other nubs.
Yep, and nubs do count for movement.
So he's just going to hang out there.
Nubs say no, no, no.
Not what he wanted. And so I think this is, man, if he was trying to, if he's self-bumping with red, then I understand moving green first. But if he's not, and he was moving red off to do like a Talno or something, yeah, correct, he can't rotate. Stay put. Yeah, do you want to get an official judge in here to rule on that? I don't want to overstep my bounds. He wants to know, so he said, I can't rotate, what happens?
All right, which ship was it?
He wants to know if he can make an action. Green.
Green? So let's see what the timing window is.
So he can't rotate, he wants to know if he can still take an action. I'm guessing this would have been the last round anyway, but
yeah,
a minute has run off the clock as they've tried to figure this out.
Skip your execute maneuver step and remove what's just token. He's denied by the nubs. Where's my...
What a weird interaction.
Yeah.
Oh boy. My hunch is he can still take an action, but I don't know.
Let's see. So you don't actually. It's rotating is not executing a maneuver. Is one thing.
Right.
Okay. So
it says skip your execute maneuver step.
Have I been summoned
Yes.
for any particular reason?
Oh yes, very much so.
Rotating is something I've been examining really hard. I'm told it involves that.
Yes.
Yes. So
What's the rundown?
So
I've been busy.
if a droid was unable to rotate, does it get its action? It was unable. It can't rotate because of the nubs.
Right. A rotate is neither a maneuver nor a move. So you would lose your action because you did not fully complete a maneuver, right? That's the reason why.
Well, I mean, yes, that's the reason why you would lose an action normally.
So off
So
the
it says
cuff, he
it
should
says
still
skip your
be
execute maneuver step.
right.
So, yeah.
So whether or not it successfully rotates, which is a silly thing, but I mean it happens sometimes. That and fail is the wrong word to describe it
Right.
because in X-wing terms that's a whole other thing. So if it cannot rotate, I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be able to take an action. Let me confer with my esteemed colleague, and I will return forthwith.
Okay.
Excellent.
So we're gonna have him continue
So after
play.
all that, grabs a calculate.
Yeah.
Which should be fine.
Yeah.
There's some weird corner cases. I've never run into that.
Yeah. That's a first.
Personally. I have run into, you get a, what's the crit? Where you can't go over obstacles while you're on an obstacle.
Yep.
What do? Well, you could barrel roll off of it, but you're basically stuck on that rock forever, or you die.
This is your life now.
Yep.
All right, so we got another.
Yeah, I'm
bump
pretty
there.
sure he was wanting to rotate and then barrel off of that rock so that Teal could have jumped on it and gained that action.
My esteemed colleague Michael Juris also concurs. The action is fine.
All right,
Perfect.
excellent.
Yeah, and then that would have also cleared space for Red to take the K turn, which explains why he tried to rotate Green first.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate for Leo, but is what it is. Here's the one forward.
Nobody could have known because of the ionization.
Seer didn't move, did he?
I have not seen Seer move yet.
There we go. And most likely focusing.
Yep, I mean that's all you can do after the
Oh, gotta undo that. Undo. He just one-forwarded it again.
yeah.
Oh, they deleted the token that would allow them to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They
Okay,
got
got
it.
it. Cool. Nice. Good job. Good job, team. All right. Yep. 5 forward.
Get
No,
out.
thank you. I know I'm up on points. I will just 5 forward and evade. Thank you very much. I'm taking one shot. Yep.
That's the correct choice. Very low chances of taking damage. You got Seven Sister being here a little aggressive.
Yeah, but at the same time, wow, ooh, that's so dangerous. I mean, you have a lock on Seer. I would almost boost focus here. Evade is the safe play. That's fine. What happened to I Choose Violence, Pedro? What happened to I Choose Violence?
You lied to us. You lied to us. Okay, because if you would have
I
killed Seer,
imagine-
it doesn't matter if you lose Seven Sister for sure.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
He's up on points right now, So
Take the shots on Captain Seer. That's what you take both shots on Seer.
So you get the range 1 bonus here, shooting at Seer from 5th Brother, or Grand Inquisitor rather.
So use the ability,
And
2 hits.
2 hits. So Seer gets 3 dice because of the obstruction, and is going to have Soulless 1 trigger as well. So you reroll one of those focus results with Soulless 1, and then decide if you want to spend the focus or not. Yep. So he's rerolling that.
Soulless.
He's hoping to get an evade. Doesn't get it. Spends the focus. Still alive for now.
7th Sister ready to clean up.
Yep. She doesn't have both force active, does she? No. So she
just
can't
one.
use the crack shot ability. So hoping to kill Seer here. Ooh,
that
that's a
could
good
do
start.
it. Hit crit.
If Seer, why? Nope, only 2 dice, right? Yep. Making him reroll.
It's gonna feel extra bad if it's natty evades.
Oh, there's 1, and he gets to reroll 1 with Soulless 1. Here we go, clinch. Oh my goodness, he got it. Oh, that
Feels bad.
that feels real bad because he rolled 3 focus results the first time.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
You got it.
And here's what even feels worse is that 7th Sister could easily die here.
Yep.
Like,
Just with all the shots coming in. She's got 1 force
Right.
and an evade.
and then if she does, Leo wins. That's so stupid. Okay.
Shot number 1. Has
that's a good
calculates
start.
available. The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. I've said it many, many times.
Yep. I think you spend greens there instead of blue, but okay. So 4 dice here.
You have the bullseye on. You could have used Seer's ability if you would have kept it.
Well, he didn't. Well, he didn't have one. Teal didn't have a
Oh, okay.
calculate. He spent a friend's.
So spend.
So has to spend
a
a force. So now no more force, just an evade with 2 more shots coming in. So, I mean, like, you feel fairly confident you're okay, but like, oh man. So range 2 into 7th Sister. One's not going to get her done. I mean, you got to spend the calculate to at least try to clear off the evade token. Yeah, and that's ball game.
That's it.
Yep. Whew. Pedro pulls out a close one. 5 MOV. Yikes. This game did not feel that close. I feel like Pedro just had this in hand almost the entire time, but this came down to the wire.
It did.
Wow.
So that last attack
What a
did
finish.
not matter.
That's 2 in a row.
2 close ones. So congratulations to Pedro for winning that game 75-80. Congratulations. This round was brought to you by Curled Paw Creatives. Use coupon code SpaceJam2020 for 20% off. And you know what time it is? It's giveaway time. We do have a shot.